How are you? You're well?
Yes, my brother. Since you don't want to invite me to Nairobi, it's good to see you in Kampala. No, what we're going to do is, I was insisting that you come to Ethiopia. Now I change my mind.
Yeah.
And I told you stuff to understand it.
Azerbaijan provided financial.
Assumed the chairmanship of the non-aligned movement in 2019 at the Baku summit of the movement and declared the following priorities. Strengthening unity of the growing challenges of contemporary world. Although online summit of the institutional setup of the non-aligned institutions like non-parliamentary network.
Founded in 2022 constitutes an additional assets for promotion of multilateral Human Rights Council. In October of 2023, the draft international covenant on the right of development was submitted to the UN General Assembly for its consideration, negotiation and membership in 13 years, bringing the number of member states to 121. These proved Azerbaijani chairmanship has also attached particular importance to the development efforts of the non-member states, the heads of state and government of now. I propose the distinguished delegation of readiness to extend all the necessary support in this process. Azerbaijan is proud to take over a new important international responsibility. Universal, equitable and affordable access to COVID-19 vaccines are being achieved. Wider awareness and development of the values of the movement.
Africa has got everything. Here we have everything. What we need from other people are markets and investments. But we shall not only sell to you, we shall also buy from you. We are not like others who want only to sell to others but not buy from them. So I'm very glad to have this big presence of people from the world so that we can interact with you. Our stand is that the world should concentrate on the common human problems: prosperity through trade, the advance of science and technology to deal with human problems, the environment, crime, and terrorism. The future is bright if we act right. These are indeed the Bandung principles of one, respect for fundamental human rights and for the purposes of the principles of the Charter of the United Nations, respect for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of all nations, recognition of the equality of all races and of the equality of all nations, large and small, abstention from intervention or interference in the internal affairs of another country, respect for the right of each nation to defend itself singly or collectively in conformity with the Charter of the United Nations, abstention from the use of arrangements of collective defense to serve the particular interests of any of the big powers, abstention by any country from exerting pressure on other countries. 7, refraining from acts of threats, of aggression, or use of force against the territorial integrity or political independence of any country. Settlement of all international disputes by peaceful means, such as negotiation, conciliation, arbitration, or judicial settlement, as well as other peaceful means of the parties' own choice in conformity with the Charter of the United Nations. Promotion of mutual interests and cooperation, and respect for justice and international obligation. It is on these principles that the NAM was founded.
I also wish to take this opportunity to thank all
head of state and government of NAM for their participation in this important high-level meeting. The summit is timely as it takes place under the theme Deepening Cooperation for Shared Global Affluence. It is indeed an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to strengthen our cooperation on the basis of a strategic partnership that endeavors to maintain peace, security, and development while expressing grave concern over the challenges posed by the continued prevalence of conflict, terrorism, and security and instability in some parts of our regions. A stark example today is the war in Gaza. Africa condemns this unacceptable moral, legal, and humanitarian failure and demands an immediate end to the unjust war against the Palestinian people and for the immediate implementation of the two-state solution. The African Continental Free Trade Agreement, launched by the African Union, represents a global market of more than 1.3 billion people to boost intra-African trade, but also with the world to deepen cooperation for shared affluence. Despite this progress made, many African countries are still facing different forms and magnifications of terrorism, as well as transnational organized crime that risk to undo the important developmental gains on the continent. Africa is now a member of the G20, a key global platform to express the views of the continent with the rest of the world. However, the reform of international global political, financial, and economic institutions to ensure global equity remains a priority for Africa and the Global South. Today, I wish to seek the support of all members of non-aligned movement to the efforts of African Union to reform the UN Security Council. Africa, assuming permanent seat in the UNSC, will contribute to the global stability, peace, security, and sustainable development. That is why efforts shall continue to achieve this African dream of securing 2 permanent seats within the UN Security Council.